Gilbert in his learning process of the offense? And because Ben needs so much work, can you even get Garrett work with the first team just in case?
Yeah, obviously Garrett really, he had to go through the protocol coming down here. So really his first, face-to-face opportunity just to see us was Sunday, other than, the virtual aspect of that. Last Sunday, the previous Sunday. So really he's only been here for a day over a week. And so, obviously he's got quite a learning curve, but, Garrett's been around the league for a while. So obviously, he's someone, get him prepared as well because, we've gone down this situation. We've had a couple guys go down in different circumstances. So really, guys got to be ready. Guys got to prepare like they're the starter, no matter what situation you're in.
Kellen, after Dak went down, y'all mentioned that you did not intend to drastically change this offense, but given the state of the offensive line and the potential that Ben could be your starter in Philadelphia, how do you change your preparation, and how much do you take that into account when calling plays?
Yeah, obviously we got to recognize our team and put ourselves in the best situation, hopefully to be successful. Guys are on this team for a reason because we believe in them, and we got to give them an opportunity to go play their best football. And hopefully during the week we can find that the best way to do that. And we just got to prepare the right way, keep going at this thing, find a solution. And if guys just keep their head down, keep working through this thing, we're gonna find something. We're gonna find it, and we're gonna find it and get this thing going.
Zeke spends a decent amount of time in pass protection. What's that balance of knowing you need the help there, but also wanting to set up the passing game with the run game?
Yeah. Obviously, we just got to be better on first and second down, and I think that's the biggest thing. If you're in third and long, those are challenging situations no matter the circumstances, and we got to be better on first and second down, run the ball, being able to get into play action, those sorts of things on first and second down, and that's going to help us in the third downs because obviously it's a balancing act. When it's third and long, Zeke's certainly conscious of the protection, make sure things are good. He's got to be an outlet as well for a completion opportunity and a running catch for a first down.
Kellen, not too long ago, you were in this situation that Ben was coming in, potentially starting, and you've started your 2 games there in 2015. What's the mindset you had then as a player, and how do you translate that to Ben to say, hey, just go play?
Yeah, I think it's go play, trust yourself, but you got to have a great week of prep. Obviously, it's different circumstances for Ben. He hasn't had a ton of reps with our starters, and so obviously lack of preseason. There's some unique circumstances with everything that's gone on. I think the biggest thing is just the communication and presence. You're going into a huddle with guys you probably haven't practiced a whole lot with. You got to have the command of it. You got to have great communication. Make sure all 11 are on the same page. Call that play confidently. Make your calls up at the line of scrimmage confidently, and come out of there, and people will feel that. People feel that and respond well.
And short of max protecting every single time, what can you do to help the line and help and ultimately help the quarterback protect in situations? Yeah.
Obviously, there's a few different ways we can go about that. Obviously, bringing more guys into protection, or sending guys out and hopefully getting the ball out quicker. I think there's value to both, and obviously it's a balancing act of recognizing what puts us in the best situation to be successful. And I think the biggest thing for all that is we just got to be able to run the ball a little bit better, and we got to be able to build off of the run game into the action game and the play action game, and then everything else that comes off of that.
Is it hard to put a game plan together, not knowing when you're going to get Andy back? You might get him back Thursday, you might get him back Friday, and you got this young kid you're trying to get ready. Yeah,
we just got to balance all that. Obviously, I haven't gone through that situation as a play caller, so obviously we got to prepare with the balancing act of recognizing Andy's availability with also Ben being ready to rock and roll there, and we still got to put a game plan together. We can't turn it into a defensive mode and try and play on our heels and try not to screw up. We got to be ready to go, and whoever's out there is out there, and we got to plan accordingly and react accordingly.
Looked like yesterday was maybe the first time we saw CD have some struggles, had a couple of drops there. How do you look to him this week in terms of bouncing back after a game that he had on Sunday?
Yeah, it's time to bounce back. He's a great player. He didn't have his best game, and he'll be the first to tell you. It's an opportunity to respond. Go play a great game against a division opponent on a Sunday. There's nothing better than that, and he's got a great opportunity ahead of him, and we're going to keep giving him opportunities. He deserves it. He's earned it, and he's got to just rebound from this one and be ready to roll.
Out as quickly as you wanted it to on Sunday?
Sorry, I missed the first part.
Was the ball getting out as quickly as you wanted it to Sunday?
Yeah, I think there are some opportunities we can get the ball out sooner. Obviously, just a couple of those sacks were, beyond the 2.3 seconds we talk about. You're trying to make a play, totally understand the circumstance from the quarterback's perspective, but also at the end of the day, we got to protect the football. We got to get it out. We got to avoid the sacks. Live for the next down, and things we're certainly going to have to learn from and improve upon.
Not naive to the challenges that your offense is facing, the challenges that as a play caller you're having as a staff game planning right now with everything that's going on. Michael Gallup's production, he had no targets in the first half. He had 2 in the second half, 1 out of bounds. Not a whole lot of opportunities for one of your most dynamic playmakers. He runs a lot of deeper routes, and there's less time in the pocket. But how do you view getting more involved? Is that realistic with what's happening in your offense and the type of player that he is? How do you view that?
Yeah, completely agree. We got to give him opportunities. Sometimes there's opportunities on both sides of the field, and we end up going a different direction. Obviously, Amari had some completions and some opportunities where there were kind of mirrored concepts. Obviously, we got to give him opportunities. Obviously, like you said, a lot of his opportunities have come in more vertical stuff where you get the play action game going, and you're a little bit more in those deeper progressions. And we just got to find a way to get him opportunities. Obviously, he's been successful, and we just got to get more plays, more opportunities out of this thing, and get the ball distributed to all these different guys.
Removed from being not only a player on this roster, but also a new coach in a new role. How do you endear yourself to a locker room? What do you think is important, even for this new coaching staff, knowing some of the personnel that's in here?
Sorry, I missed the beginning there again. Sorry.
I said I think you add a unique perspective in the sense that you're not too far removed from playing and being a part of this locker room, but also having moved up the ranks as an offensive coordinator. So how do you how do you endear yourself to some of these players? And given what you know about this locker room, have you picked up on any nuances of how to do that? Have you communicated that with this new staff by any chance?
Yeah, obviously we're all working together to find a solution here. Obviously we're not where we want to be. I think we got a lot of, obviously, from an offense perspective, we got a very young group, and obviously they're kind of learning their ways on the field in some ways, and so we just got to keep working together, keep sticking together. We got to work together. I think that's the biggest thing is just communication. Just keep communicating, keep talking through this thing from a player's perspective, from a coach's perspective. The more discussions we have and the more things that we just talk about and feel open about, I think that's the best way to find solutions because we got a lot of resources here from players to coaches. Some of our guys have played a lot of football. We want to continue to utilize those guys. And, for younger guys, help them along the way and help guide them and get them prepared for Sundays because obviously we need them. And, we got opportunities ahead of us. We're not where we want to be. We're 2-5. But, we're in a unique situation that there are opportunities ahead of us. And so that's all we got to focus on.
Hey, Kellen. Obviously, receivers are different. Some guys have straight line speed. Some guys are better route runners. How would you describe what Michael Gallup does bring just as an individual player?
Yeah, obviously tremendously talented. I think he just has a tremendous ability to just go get the football. And there's something to be said about that. Everyone talks about, your speed, your vertical, maybe your route running, all these different intangibles or, combine style things. At the end of the day, Michael goes and finds the football and goes and gets it. And obviously he's done it for a while here. He's a tremendous player. And like I said, we got to give them some more opportunities. Goofy game, not many opportunities in that thing, but we got to find a way to give them a few. And obviously, we feel good about some of the other guys out on the perimeter. We just got to find ways, however it shakes down, to give them opportunities.
And, just to follow up on that, when you talk about giving opportunities, is that from a play calling standpoint, the quarterback standpoint? I mean, where does that kind of fall in terms of getting him those opportunities?
Yeah, I mean, obviously from my perspective, I'm just focused on the scheme aspect of it, making sure we give them opportunities. I think at the end of the day, quarterbacks got to trust their progressions, trust what they see, and, I think you're sometimes in a scary position if you're telling quarterbacks you need to throw it to this guy on this particular play, no matter what the circumstances are. I think, we just got to continue to design, create opportunities for those guys, and the more opportunities they have, the ball's going to go that way more often than not. And so, we'll just continue to work on it, find ways, and we'll see where it takes us.
Kellen, Jim Schwartz is an aggressive coordinator anyway, bringing lots of pressure. Can he be even more aggressive against you guys if it's a guy like DiNucci making his first start, or even Andy with little practice time? How do you prepare for a guy for that defense when they do come after people? Yeah,
certainly at times, Coach Schwartz he has no hesitancy to come after guys, and if you don't have a response, he's going to keep coming after you. And so you just got to be prepared for it, be able to handle it. Obviously, we've played them a lot, been around Coach Schwartz a lot as a player and coach, and so have a ton of respect for what he does on defense. I think he does a really good job of game planning people, understanding what they do, and you gotta be prepared.
Kellen, Ben DiNucci finds himself in a situation that you found yourself in your career, when all of a sudden you go from running the scout team or being the backup to all of a sudden all the veterans are looking at you. How do you handle that? And is it almost like sometimes I don't want to put words in your mouth, or almost like a false bravado that you kind of have to put out there? How do you engender confidence in veteran guys when you're a young guy who hasn't demonstrated a lot on the field yet because you haven't had much opportunity?
Yeah, I think it's that confidence and presence. And as silly as this sounds, it's about calling a play in the huddle. And just going in there with the command, the presence, the confidence to call a play, to call it confidently, to look at everyone in their eyes, and you got this, let's go. And when guys feel that, guys respond well, and obviously you earn that through practice, how practice goes, and then ultimately obviously through the game. And so we got a great opportunity. Ben's got a great opportunity potentially ahead of himself, depending on how this situation shakes down, and we'll just see where it goes.
And just as a follow-up, when we spoke with Coach McCarthy a little bit, following up on something Coach McCarthy said a little earlier, he was talking about the operation with DiNucci, and by that, does that include like the play calling and all that? That's not necessarily just the quarterback center exchange, is that correct?
Yes, that's exactly it. I think it starts with the huddle, having command there, calling the play, getting to the line, communicating with all 11 players, the other 10 guys, to make sure everyone's on the same page, because there's sometimes adjustments you have to make at the line of scrimmage, protection adjustments, route adjustments, and then ultimately, it's calling that cadence, taking the snap properly, and then obviously moving on through the play.
Kellen, you had a 4th and 1 yesterday, a couple of plays before they hit the big throw to McLaren. What was the call on that 4th and 1, and what happened there?
Yeah. Obviously, 4th and 1. You got two options: really hand it off, or we went with the play action, the movement, just get Andy out on the edge, have an opportunity potentially for Zeke in the flat. A couple other guys were going to be outlets, and we were close. They kind of end up matching it. They end up matching it well, and we weren't able to execute it. Felt confident about it. Felt comfortable about it. Obviously, again, you can look at it and. Two possible outcomes. You run play action or you run the ball, and obviously the play action didn't work.
We'll finish up here with Jory.
Kellen, McCarthy mentioned teammates' response to Andy Dalton's hit wasn't what he expected. What mentality do you want to see from your offensive line, and have they showed that to you, and if not, how can they?
Yeah, I think just reviewing that situation, obviously they called it. They called the penalty. I think when you look at our offensive line they went to, check on Andy, and obviously that's what we hope for as far as, checking on him, making sure he's okay, being, caring for their guy. Obviously, disappointing play on multiple levels there, and young guys going through this process, and hopefully, I think just our response after that play, finding a way to rally the troops and get going, and we're going to learn from it. We're going to go through it. We got to go through it together, and learn through this process.